Hey guys, it's Kate, and today's video is going to be a little Q&A video. I asked you guys in my last video, as well as on my Instagram and my Twitter, to hit me up with those questions and I would answer them in my next video. So you guys did. If you guys did not see that post or watch my last video and you guys wanted to ask a question, just leave it down below and I'll be sure to film another Q&A eventually and I'll get to your guys' questions. And yeah, let's just get into this video. The first question that I got on Instagram is from ns.olesky, and he said, "What's your favorite color?" My favorite color is probably baby pink, and baby pink is kind of like what I'm wearing right now. It's just like a light pink, and then probably black, which is like completely opposite sides of the spectrum, but like black is like a cool color. Like I like black a lot and I wear it a lot. He also asked another question, which was, "What's your favorite type of clothing?" My favorite type of clothing is probably just like anything flowy and like airy because it's really hot right now. Obviously it's summertime, so I really like to wear things that aren't gonna like make me really hot. So like flowy skirts, flowy shirts, swing dresses, anything like that is definitely like my favorite type of clothing at the moment. Alison Saber, shout out to my homie Alison, asked me, "Who are your closest friends?" My closest friends are probably like, obviously I talk about her all the time, but my closest friend is probably Danielle, just because we've been best friends since we were like 7 years old. And I feel like I could tell her anything and like I would have no fear of her going and like repeating it to anyone or like judging me or anything like that. And it's like the same way for her, at least I hope so. Like I would never judge her or like repeat what she says to me. I just feel like we have a really close bond, and it's like one of those things that you can't really find anywhere else. Like just because we've been friends for so long, it's like, I don't know, I feel like we are just like one and the same. Like we have like this, it's kind of like indescribable. We're just, it's like once you're friends with someone for so long, it's like they become more of like a family member to you than anything. Speaking of family members, another close friend of mine is definitely my sister Nicole, because I could literally talk to my sister for hours and not get bored, and we could just talk about anything. And we are so like scatterbrained when we're together because we both just like tell each other everything, so it's kind of like we both just talk over each other, but we both understand like what the other person is saying. We have a lot of like the same viewpoints, and so it's just really easy to talk to her. And because she's my sister, I can tell her everything, and obviously like it's like even stuff that I don't tell my friends, I can tell my sister anything. And of course she's just gonna lock it up in the vault because she's my sister, and we love each other, and I know that she prays for me all the time, and she's just a really good sister, you know? Like best friend, top 10 for sure. Like that's my homie, you know? I don't know why I did that. Ew, what in the world? And then another close friend of mine is obviously Alison. Like me and Alison have been friends since like 3rd grade or something, and we just love each other so much. Like if you saw us, you would be like, why do those two love each other so much? Because we just like, we're both very like touchy people, so like we kind of feel the need to like hold each other like when we're talking. So like I like have her arm, or like when she's telling me a story, she'll like grab my hand and we'll just be like shaking each other's hands like as we're talking. And I don't know, it's just like we're very similar and we both love to talk, so whenever we get together, it's like we always just like talk and talk and talk and talk. Like we could talk for hours, and I don't know, we're just close like that. Another close friend of mine would probably be Micah, because I feel like, and I say this about like everyone, but I feel like we are like very similar, especially in the way that we believe. And it's the same way with Danielle. Like I feel like I could talk to them about anything that has to do with church and they wouldn't like get upset, or they wouldn't be like, oh, I don't agree, just because like we all were brought up the same way, we all believe the same things, and so it's really easy to talk about God, talk about the Bible, to talk about things that we believe. We have just like the same outlook on things, and we all just kind of like pray together. So I think like definitely Mike is one of my good friends because of how sweet she is, and then just because it's really good to have friends with like the same beliefs as you, and that's kind of like what me and Micah and Danielle have in common. My next close friend is probably Shaylin. She's one of my church friends, and she's a lot younger than me, and you'd never know it if you like saw us together because she's not like short or anything, and she's very mature. Like sometimes she's more mature than I am, and she's a lot younger than I am, but we've been friends for a while because she started coming to my church like 5 years ago, and I don't know, I just really enjoy her company. She's very mature for her age. She's really sweet, she's really cool, and she's like a mini me who looks like she could be as old as me, basically. So yeah. As far as guy friends go, I would say that my guy best friend is my friend Colby because we have been friends for a while and we're really close. And I think it's like really good to get like a guy's perspective sometimes, and he's very like smart, he has like a really good perspective, and he's just really like understanding. So I'm really glad that we met each other and that we're really good friends. And yeah, those are my close friends. The next question comes from R.B. Smith, and they said, if you could change one thing in your life, what would it be? Okay, so I was trying to think of an answer for this for like a long time, and I was trying to like think of all these like deep things that I could say, but honestly, I don't really want to get into anything like deep, so I'm just gonna say I would probably change how much I talked in class and probably listen a little more. Not in all classes, just in like math and science, because those classes are like really hard and I definitely struggled with those, and I feel like if I would have listened a little better, I probably would have gotten better grades. Sam with 4Ms73 said, can you come to Canada so I can meet you? I can definitely come to Canada. I just have to convince my parents to let me go because I have been wanting to go to Canada for a long time, and I didn't even know that you lived there because I follow you on Instagram. Honestly, I had no idea that you lived in Canada, but I would love to go. I just gotta get a passport and I gotta convince my parents, but I don't live too far away, I guess, so once I get a passport, I will definitely come up there and see you. So yeah, all my Canada subscribers, I'll start a PayPal so you guys can pay my way to Canada. No, I'm just kidding. Next question. The next question comes from ft.christy, and she said, where's your favorite place to shop and how old were you when you got your purity ring? My favorite place to shop is probably either Forever 21. I know, so generic. It's like the whole, like you can't go into that place without buying at least like 5 things. It's like the worst, but it's also the best. And I really like calledtosurf.com. I really like their stuff. They have a lot of modest dresses, a lot of really cute stuff, so I would definitely say Forever 21 and Called to Surf are my favorites. And as for your second question, I got my purity ring when I was 13 years old, and I would show you guys like pictures that my dad posted of like the certificate that he got me and like a picture of me when I first got it, but like honestly I look so ugly in that picture, like ew. And then I don't even know, I would have to go back so far on his Facebook, but if you guys wanted to see it, this is it. It is a little heart and it has a ruby. I don't know if it's like focusing. It has a ruby in the middle, and it's not like too big of a stone because rubies are kind of expensive, but I really wanted a ruby for some reason. Like my parents were gonna get me a diamond and I was like, no, I want a ruby. So I don't really know what my thought process was, but honestly it's become like a part of me. And definitely I think, I don't know if necessarily if you would want a ring, if people would like want to get a ring, but I think definitely you should if you are under the age of 18 and you're still living with your parents, I think it's a really good idea to set boundaries and to set just standards of where you're going to go, what you're going to do. And I think that kind of ceremony, I guess, I don't know, like we just went to dinner and like they talked to me and I like signed this contract and everything, but I think it's definitely really helpful because as a teenager there's obviously like a lot of temptations, and just talking to your parents about it and setting up like boundaries, it's just like a really good idea because you want your parents to have trust in you and you also want to have trust in yourself. And I don't know, like for me especially, like I never take this off, and it's just kind of like a reminder, not that I've ever been in the position of like not being pure because I've never had a boyfriend or anything like that, but if I were to have one, I think that it's a really good idea just to have something that you can like see as like a reminder, like don't do that, like no homie, don't go there, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I like it, it's cute. And I always get asked if I'm married and I'm like, does this look like a wedding ring to you? Like, the next question comes from Brianna Joy, and instead of an A in Brianna it's a 3, if you guys were wondering. And she said, where do you like to shop for modest clothing? I kind of already answered this question. I like to shop at Call to Surf for a lot of my modest clothing, but I get a lot of my skirts at Forever 21, so basically the same answer as before. The next question comes from ft.christy again, and she said, can you come to Houston, Texas? I want to meet you. I would definitely be down to go to Texas. Honestly, I would be down to go anywhere because I don't travel that often. So yeah, I'd totally be down to come there. Like I said, just gotta convince my parents, so yes. These questions come from Twitter. The first one is from @Anya_Josie, and she said, are you going to camp? I will be at senior high camp July 11th through 15th. If you guys would like a vlog, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up or leaving a comment down below. And yeah, I will be at camp, so say hi to me if you guys are there. The next question comes from @Brenda Istifu, I think is how it's pronounced. And she is a friend of mine and my sister's from my sister's college. She said, how you so beaut? And I don't really know how to answer that question, but you're beautiful, Brenda, and I miss you, so come see me, okay? That was it, okay. And the last question comes from Teddy Leismere, and they said, when people ask, do you say you're Apostolic, Pentecostal, or both? When people ask me what my religion is, I usually would just say Apostolic, just because, like, if I say Apostolic Pentecostal, they'll be like, you're two religions. So I usually say Apostolic, but I do go by like the general term of Apostolic Pentecostal. That's what my church does anyways. And basically, I mean, it just kind of depends on who you're talking to. Some people would say like, hey, are you Pentecostal? And I'll just be like, yeah. Or like they'd be like, are you Apostolic? I just say yeah. So to me, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's like the same thing basically, just like Apostolic, the Apostles' Doctrine, Pentecost, it's like the day of Pentecost. I don't know. I go by both. It doesn't really matter to me. Whichever one you guys want to call me is fine. I don't really have a preference. But yeah, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow me on my social medias, and hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!